Our world is lost to time. Only our myths remain. Once, rain was a symbol of hope and harvest. Now it brings only death. Humanity survives in sheltered cities and canvas-covered towns. Travel between these patches of limited safety is rare and dangerous. It's what Galahad lives for. Hi everyone, Fina here from Fina Reads, today with a book review of the Rainfallen saga series, trilogy, I'm not quite sure, by Benjamin Aeveryn, with the first book being Salt in the Wound, the second book being Secret of the Thistle, and the third book that just recently released being A Cask-Aged Blade. Years ago, in this arthurian-inspired post-apocalyptic fantasy series, the rain changed. And since then, it's not safe to go out and wander without some sort of a protection, either an umbrella, which in this world is called paratempas, or a tarp, or some sort of coverage that protects you from the rain. Because if not, the rain rights will get you. The main characters of this series is a group of friends that grew up together in a bit more remote village. Galahad, one of our main characters, has always been fascinated by Arthurian legends, by going on quests, by finding treasures. He loved to read books in general. And one of the stories that he read about was about the long-haired priest who hid a treasure of significant value somewhere. So he convinces his friends to go out there and find this treasure, because what it would mean if they find it is a lot of wealth that they can use to support the village they grew up in, build better protection from the rain, and with that keep families safe. Problem is that Galahad gets betrayed by his friends the moment they find the treasure and is left for dead. And just like a whiskey is getting better with age, by the way, a very prevalent theme in this book series, I had to let my thoughts marinate for a couple of days and now come back with aged thoughts about the series. There are three aspects in this series that really stand out for me. Number one is the uniqueness of the fantasy elements, really. It starts with the creatures he is showcasing in the series. Rain rides obviously being one of them, but then we also see will-o'-the-wisps and a bunch of other really fascinating creatures that are not very typical in fantasy books. And the other part is the soft magic system that develops as the series progresses. Parts of it are based on chemistry elements. Other parts are just really fun to observe as the story unfolds. The second aspect that I really enjoyed are the characters, and in particular the depth we see with the characters. All of them have experienced something in the past. They're still experiencing something as part of the series. And Benjamin Aeveryn did an incredible job treating the character development with such a respect, and that in a believable speed, if that makes any sense. But it was never a moment where on one page you were introduced to a situation and the next page it was resolved. Not at all. You could see how the characters were learning based off of their experience, how they were adjusting their behavior. That I find is really rare in books. The character depth is one part, but the other part is the look and feel of the characters. No, oh, she's gorgeous but didn't know it type of characters. Not at all. They also have flaws from the way they look, missing teeth, scars, whatnot. They are not, blonde, curly hair, well busted, whatever type of women. I tell you that much. As a woman who, even with female authors, has to constantly read about big boobs and whatnot, this is really refreshing. As a side note here, part of the character growth has to do with drug and alcohol abuse. And that is also a very prevalent topic in this series. So, trigger warning. And the third aspect that stood out in the series for me is the scene setting. And what I mean with that is that he is able to write a scene. As an example, you're sitting in a tavern, you're watching 2 or 3 people have a dialogue, and while they're having the dialogue, he is showing you the scene. There are people walking in and out, doors creaking, mugs being dropped off, and all of that while the conversation is happening. I'm not sure I'm explaining this the right way, but it made it feel more like a movie in the sense of while you were listening to someone, you got to explore the scene and you got to see what's happening around them. And just how he wove those things into the dialogue was super fascinating to me. Another interesting aspect about the series is that with all 3 books, it feels like Benjamin Aeveryn was trying to explore a different storytelling approach. So book 1, Salt in the Wounds, is a more quest and adventure book. So you're getting introduced to the group, of course, and to the scene around you and a little bit of the past. But then you go from quest to quest, from adventure to adventure. Whereas in book 2, this one seems to be more a journey book where you are joining specific characters on their journey to wherever they are going to. And book 3, on the other hand, moves a little bit more towards traditional fantasy elements, which makes book 2 my favorite of the series by far, which I find interesting because usually I'm not the I join you during your travels type of girl when it comes to fantasy. But this one just had such a great scenery, and I loved what we learned in this series about the magic system and about the world itself and about 2 of the main characters. I hope I got you excited about the Rainfallen saga series. I'm still not sure. And that you might be interested in picking it up. If you enjoyed this review, I would love it if you could give my video a thumbs up. Leave me a comment down below. What are you thinking about the series? Does it sound something that you're interested in? And then also don't forget to hit the subscribe button. It really helps the channel. And then I hope I see you with my next video. Have an amazing rest of your day. Bye!